Welcome to this video on understanding relationship between the Reserve Bank of India's Draft Data Governance Framework and the Basel Committee's BCBS 239 standards. We will explore how the RBI's framework is built with a dependency on these global principles. This comparison highlights the transition from general enterprise data governance to specialized risk data aggregation capabilities and implications for implementation. The comparison is between two related but distinct regulatory approaches. BCBS 239, issued by the Basel Committee in January 2013, was designed to strengthen banks' risk data aggregation capabilities and internal risk reporting. RBI's July 2026 Draft Data Governance Framework proposes a broader governance model for banks and NBFCs, covering organizational structure, data lifecycle controls, privacy, security, third-party sharing, and audit mechanisms. The central message is that RBI's draft goes beyond classic risk data aggregation and moves toward institution-wide data governance, while still aligning with several BCBS 239 principles. Why does this comparison matter? Both frameworks address growing data complexity. While BCBS 239 targets post-crisis risk reporting, the RBI framework incorporates modern digital finance and third-party ecosystems, signaling a move toward board-led governance. BCBS 239 emerged from lessons of the 2007 financial crisis, when banks could not aggregate exposures or identify concentrations quickly and accurately across the group. RBI's draft explicitly points to rapid growth in digital financial services, interconnected technology ecosystems, third-party arrangements, advanced analytics, and automated decision-making as drivers of stronger governance expectations. So while the triggers differ, both frameworks are about decision-grade data. For Indian regulated entities, the comparison matters because RBI is effectively localizing and broadening governance expectations beyond the narrower BCBS 239 risk data lens. Each framework has a distinct objective. The RBI's draft focuses on enterprise-wide governance, data quality, and privacy. In contrast, BCBS 239 is specifically aimed at solving weaknesses in group-wide risk visibility and reporting. BCBS 239's objective is to strengthen banks' risk data aggregation capabilities and internal risk reporting practices, improving risk management and decision-making. RBI's draft requires a comprehensive data governance framework applicable to all data and aligned with the institution's risk management framework. In simple terms, BCBS 239 asks, can the bank aggregate and report risk accurately, completely, and quickly? RBI asks, does the institution have end-to-end governance over data as an enterprise asset, including privacy, ownership, controls, and third-party accountability? Regarding scope, the RBI framework is broader, covering all regulated entities and all data types. BCBS 239 is more targeted, focusing initially on systemically important banks and specific risk management reporting requirements. RBI's draft applies to commercial banks, NBFCs, and other regulated entities, and the framework must cover all data. It also says implementation should be proportionate to size, complexity, business model, and IT and information security setup. BCBS 239 was initially addressed to systemically important banks, especially GSIBs, though supervisors may apply it more widely and proportionately. BCBS also states that its principles apply specifically to risk management data, including key internal risk models, though banks may benefit from extending them to financial and operational processes. So RBI starts wide and enterprise-centric. BCBS starts narrower but with very exacting standards for risk aggregation and risk reporting. Both models mandate board-level accountability. The RBI draft emphasizes institutionalizing enterprise-wide governance, while BCBS 239 focuses on providing the necessary resources and validation for risk data and reporting. RBI requires board oversight and proposes a board-level data governance committee, or responsibility assigned to an existing board committee, to oversee implementation. It also requires a data function, headed by an executive at least at the rank of Chief General Manager or equivalent, plus designated data owners and data custodians. BCBS 239 similarly places responsibility on the board and senior management to oversee implementation, approve the framework, and ensure adequate resources. The difference is that RBI is more explicit on organizational roles for enterprise data stewardship, while BCBS 239 is more principle-based and centered on risk data governance. When it comes to data architecture, both frameworks converge on building a trusted, integrated foundation. The RBI adds emphasis on third-party traceability, while BCBS 239 focuses on integrated taxonomy and unified identifiers. RBI says data shared with third parties should remain traceable to the designated single source of truth, and metadata and lineage should capture the extent of such sharing. BCBS 239 calls for integrated data taxonomies and architecture across the banking group, including metadata and the use of single identifiers or unified naming conventions for legal entities, counterparties, customers, and accounts. BCBS also says banks should strive toward a single authoritative source for each type of risk data. This is a strong point of convergence. Both frameworks are fundamentally anti-silo and anti-fragmentation. Data quality remains a core pillar. The RBI draft explicitly links quality to fitness for use and timely issue remediation, whereas BCBS 239 focuses on the reliability of risk aggregation and reporting processes. RBI's language is broader and includes governance dimensions such as confidentiality and traceability, alongside classic quality attributes. BCBS 239 structures its expectations through principles 3 to 6 for aggregation capabilities: accuracy and integrity, completeness, timeliness, and adaptability. RBI's fit-for-intended-use language is practical for enterprise governance and aligns well with business, compliance, and operational use cases. BCBS is more operationally demanding in stress and risk contexts, especially when timely and complete aggregation is needed during crisis conditions. For reporting, BCBS 239 offers mature, detailed guidance on report design for decision usefulness. The RBI draft emphasizes governing the reporting process itself, with a strong focus on governance metrics at the framework level. BCBS devotes a full section to risk reporting practices and says reports should be accurate, comprehensive, clear, and tailored to the needs of recipients. The standard also includes principles on reporting frequency and distribution, making it much more explicit about how information should reach decision-makers. RBI says the board should review reports and metrics placed before it, and the data function should develop metrics to monitor the effectiveness of the data governance framework. So BCBS goes deeper on the quality of risk reports, while RBI is more focused on governance oversight and management reporting around the framework itself. The RBI framework introduces a major expansion regarding third-party data and privacy, including explicit alignment with the DPDP Act. This represents a significant shift beyond the scope of traditional BCBS 239 requirements. RBI requires regulated entities to govern data shared with third parties, including group entities, and says data should be shared only for defined and approved purposes by designated personnel. It also requires controls over access, usage, and deletion, taking account of data classification, sensitivity, and customer consent for customer data. The framework must comply with the DPDP Act 2023 and the DPDP Rules 2025, which gives it a clear privacy law linkage. BCBS 239 does apply to outsourced processes, but it does not operate as a privacy and consent framework in the way RBI's draft clearly does. Resilience is at the heart of BCBS 239, which is designed for crisis scenarios. The RBI draft builds the underlying capabilities, such as data quality and controls, that indirectly support organizational resilience. BCBS 239 repeatedly says data architecture, aggregation, and reporting should work not only in normal times, but also during stress or crisis. It highlights time-critical risk areas, such as counterparty credit risk, trading exposures, liquidity indicators, and operational risk indicators, like systems availability and unauthorized access. RBI's draft is not framed as a crisis data standard in the same direct way, but its governance and quality controls are clearly relevant to resilience. The draft comes ahead of expected credit loss implementation from April 1, 2027, which raises the importance of stronger data infrastructure. This slide maps the alignment between the two frameworks. While most core principles are aligned, The differences reflect the RBI's focus on privacy and enterprise-wide data management, compared to the specific risk reporting focus of BCBS 239. This is the core comparison. Governance alignment is strong because both frameworks place responsibility at board and senior management level. The largest gaps are in BCBS-specific areas, such as formal risk reporting principles, stress speed expectations, and explicit supervisory review and remedial action architecture. That means institutions already mature on BCBS 239 will find many familiar elements in RBI's draft, but will still need to extend controls into privacy, third-party sharing, lifecycle governance, and enterprise stewardship. The RBI draft extends beyond BCBS 239 by mandating enterprise-wide scope, privacy compliance, consent-aware governance, and periodic framework reviews to ensure continued effectiveness. RBI requires annual review of the data governance framework, or more frequent review if required. It also formalizes the operational governance model with role clarity that many BCBS 239 programs had to infer or develop internally. Most importantly, RBI integrates privacy, sensitivity, consent, and third-party accountability into the governance model. That makes the RBI draft look more like a convergence of data governance, operational control, and privacy compliance than a pure BCBS-style risk data standard. BCBS 239 retains its edge in detailed, risk-specific guidance. Its 14-principle structure provides a battle-tested model for risk report design, supervisory oversight, and rapid response during stress conditions. BCBS 239 remains the stronger benchmark for risk data programs because it is highly structured and explicitly links data quality to risk decisions, stress management, and supervisory intervention. It also sets out how reports should be tailored to the board, senior management, and other recipients, which is more detailed than RBI's draft. The Basel Committee's 2023 progress report shows that even years after the expected compliance date, many GSIBs were still at different stages of alignment, which underlines how demanding the standard is in practice. That implementation history is useful for Indian institutions because it shows the likely scale of transformation needed when governance expectations become operational reality. For Indian institutions, the path forward involves adopting governed data domains, strengthening privacy and quality controls, and using BCBS 239 as a benchmark to drive continuous improvement for long-term regulatory confidence. For implementation teams, this is not just a policy exercise. It is an operating model change. Institutions will need stronger enterprise inventories, lineage mapping, role clarity, and board reporting on data governance effectiveness. For banks with advanced risk programs, BCBS 239 can serve as a maturity accelerator, especially around timeliness, adaptability, and decision-useful reporting. For NBFCs and others, RBI's draft creates a common governance baseline that reaches beyond prudential risk reporting into enterprise control and data accountability. Moving to the implementation roadmap, the first step is a current state assessment against both the RBI draft and BCBS 239 themes to identify key capability gaps. The roadmap continues with establishing a data domain model, followed by necessary upgrades to your metadata, lineage, and classification systems to ensure traceability. We then focus on implementing robust data quality controls, defining board-level reporting metrics, and designing effective governance for third-party data and consent management. To conclude, by combining the strengths of the RBI and BCBS frameworks, organizations can build a unified, privacy-centric, and risk-ready target state. The best way to read the two frameworks is not as substitutes, but as complementary layers. BCBS 239 offers the discipline for risk data aggregation, reporting, and stress-ready decision support. RBI's draft adds enterprise governance, privacy law alignment, third-party controls, and institutional accountability. The most effective target state for a regulated institution in India is therefore an integrated model, BCBS-grade risk data capability within an RBI-aligned enterprise data governance framework. If you are interested in trying out the DPDP Act provisions, you can use the Consent Manager Simulation Portal at myconsentmanager.co.in to test your integrations as a data fiduciary or data principal. We recommend the Calpi Quiz app. available on the Google Play Store, to test your knowledge of cybersecurity, the DPDP Act, and other important topics. The app offers various levels of difficulty and interactive assessments to improve your awareness. Thank you for watching this video relating to comparison of RBI's data governance framework with Basel's BCBS 239. Hope you now know more about the differences and similarities between them. This was the 42nd video in this series released by dpdpamentor.in. Please visit our YouTube channel, DPDPA Mentor, as well as our website, dpdpamentor.in, regularly to check out other informative resources. Wishing you a successful DPDP Act implementation.